How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here with another video. Of course, it is time for one last week of NFL predictions and picks. So, of course, Week 17 is here. It is time for the Week 17 picks, the final week of the regular season. See how, of course, last week with the picks went 12-4. So I entered this final week of the regular season with a record of 147-94. Of course, this week we got a lot of tank bowls. We also got a lot of games with playoff implications. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. So of course, the 1 o'clock games are the games with little to no meaning, and the 4 o'clock games are the games with the most meaning. So anyway, enough talk. Jump right into it. So the first game we got here, we have the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills playing in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills are locked into the first wild card spot no matter what. So I imagine the Buffalo Bills, they would be wise to rest the majority of their starters for this game to make sure everyone is healthy entering their wild card game. They will play either in Houston or they'll play in Kansas City, because the third seed is still up for grabs in the AFC. We'll get to that in a bit. I mean, the Jets, they're still playing for a draft pick. This is an interesting one. I'm actually going to go with the Jets on this one. I feel like the Jets are going to butt fumble and fuck their own draft pick up. So yeah, give me the New York Jets in this one. I'm going to take the Jets on the road. I mean, it's a meaningless game that doesn't mean anything for the Bills, so give me the Jets in this one. And for our next game, it is time for an AFC North Tank Bowl. So this Tank Bowl sees the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals playing in Cincinnati. A battle between two eliminated teams. Cleveland's still fighting for a draft pick. Cincinnati already has their pick locked up, as with the Bengals loss last week to the Dolphins. The Bengals have officially locked up the first overall pick in the 2019 NFL Tank Bowl. I feel like this Cincinnati's going to win this game since Cleveland's going to try and get the best draft pick possible. I think Cincinnati wins this game. I mean, they already locked up the first overall pick. Like, they might as well try and win one more game. You know, of course, try and win one for the fans. Since the Bengal fans have been... Yeah, let me try and speak here. The Bengal fans have been put through enough hell this year. I say the Bengals should just go out there and win this game. Try and get the fans some positive here to end the year off. So yeah, give me the Bengals in this one over the Browns. Next game we have the Saints and the Panthers playing in Carolina. This game has playoff implications. The Saints, they clinch a first-round bye with a win and a Packers loss. The Saints also can clinch home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs with a win plus a Packers and a 49ers loss. Yeah, give me the Saints in this one because the Panthers are tanking for a pick, and plus the Saints still got something to play for. Give me the Saints in this one. Next game we got here, we have the Green Bay Packers and the injury-riddled Detroit Lions playing in Detroit at Ford Field. Green Bay Packers, they clinch a first-round bye with a win or a Saints loss. Green Bay can also clinch home field throughout the NFC playoffs with a win plus a 49ers loss. And also, Detroit is still battling for the second overall pick. For Detroit, they need a loss and a Washington Redskins win to lock up the second overall pick and the services of Chase Young. Detroit, a loss for Detroit would automatically lock them into at least the third overall pick. But yeah, give me the Packers in this one. Detroit's just too banged up. I think Green Bay's just going to run over Detroit. I think Detroit will try and keep it competitive for 3 or 4 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, Green Bay will just pull away. I say Packers by... the point spread has the Packers by 12.5, 13 points. Yeah, I'll go with Green Bay to cover the 13. Give me Green Bay plus the points. Next game, we have a game with also playoff implications. Los Angeles Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs playing in Kansas City. Chiefs lock up a round 1 bye with a win plus a New England Patriots loss. Yeah, give me the Chiefs in this one. The Chargers are still tanking. They have a shot at top 10 picks still. So give me the Chargers in that one. Next game we have is a meaningless game. We have the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings playing in Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota, they're locked into the second and final wild card spot. We have no idea where the hell they'll be playing in the wild card round next week. So I imagine the Vikings are going to try and rest majority of their starters ahead of this game. They'd be wise to make sure everybody's healthy and ready to go entering the wild card game. And of course for Chicago, they can't tank because their first round pick is property of the Raiders. So I feel like the Bears are going to win this game because they need to make sure that first round pick this year loses as much value as possible. So yeah, give me the Bears over the Vikings in this one in a meaningless game. So yeah, give me Chicago. Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots playing in Foxborough. New England locks up a first round bye with a win or a Chiefs loss. And Miami is still tanking for the 3rd overall pick. Because Miami can now officially finish up to at least 3rd. Since they won last week, Miami has now eliminated themselves from the Chase Young race. But yeah, give me the Patriots in this one. Just New England's just going to steamroll Miami. Especially when the Patriots still have something to play for. Because I believe if the Patriots get this round 1 bye, then it would mean that every single year this decade, the Patriots had a round 1 bye in every single season of this decade. I mean, that would be a great honor for New England to have, especially with how great of a franchise they've been. I mean, it would look really good on Tom Brady, and it would look real good on Bill Belichick. If we're going to still make arguments about Bill Belichick being the greatest coach in NFL history. So yeah, give me the Patriots in that one. In our next game, it is time for an NFC South Tank Bowl. So this Tank Bowl sees the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing in Tampa Bay. Of course, for the Falcons, so of course the loser ends up with a better draft pick. The winner gets a terrible draft pick. I feel like the Falcons are going to win this game because it's been reported that Dan Quinn is supposed to be getting fired as head coach of the Falcons. I feel like Dan Quinn's going to try and make one last attempt, try and have a really good game to end the year off to try and make one last plea to keep his job. But yeah, give me the Falcons in this one. I feel like Dan Quinn's still going to get fired this year. He's going to be part of the victims of Black Monday. So yeah, give me the Falcons in that one. Next game we have the Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams playing in Los Angeles. A meaningless game. Arizona's still battling for a draft pick. The Rams don't really have a pick now, since they traded their first round pick to the Jaguars for Jalen Ramsey. Since, of course, with the Rams losing last week, the Rams have now been officially eliminated. I mean, for the Rams, we all knew last year they didn't deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They only got in because of questionable ref ball and the Saints getting outright fucked over. And this year, they didn't have help from the refs this time. So I think we need to just pump the brakes on Sean McVay being a genius. Like, this was obviously a massive step back year for the Rams. Like, pretty disappointing. And for the Rams, all they really got in their future is cap hell coming their way. Because, keep in mind, the Rams overpaid for Jared Goff, and he can't manage a game if his life depended on it. They also overpaid for Todd Gurley, who's now developed arthritis in his knee. And Gurley will never be the same running back he used to be. And in terms of Jalen Ramsey, if the Rams want to keep Ramsey, they have to give him everything he wants and overpay him. If they don't give him everything he wants, Ramsey's is going to fuck off and probably go to Philly. And we don't want that. So yeah, give me the Rams in this one. Of course, they want to also try and damage. They also want to try and make that first round pick of theirs lose value, so the Jaguars get a terrible pick there. But yeah, give me the Rams in that one. But of course, for all those games, for everybody else that just played, thank you for playing. Because now, it is time to get to the meaningful games. So we'll start off here on the NFC side. There is still one playoff spot left up for grabs. That is the NFC East title. For the Philadelphia Eagles, it's very simple. Win, and you're in. For the Cowboys, they need a win and an Eagles loss to get in and win the division. And oh, by the way, the winner of the NFC East, they're either going to be playing at home to either the Seahawks or the 49ers. So yeah, let's get into it. So this one, we have the first off that we have the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants playing in New York. This one, I think part of me feels like the Giants are going to win, but I don't see it happening. I feel like the Eagles are going to win this game because they still got a lot to play for. I mean, the Giants, they could be that team that plays spoiler since Daniel Jones is still in. Because Pat Schumer and Dave Gettleman are going to try and make one last plea to keep their jobs. Since either both or one of them are rumored to be getting fired on Black Monday. But yeah, give me the Eagles in that one. So then our next game, Redskins and Cowboys playing in Dallas. Oh no. I mean, there's been rumors that the Cowboys are going to try and the players are going to try and intentionally lose this game to try and get Jason Garrett fired. Because it's been rumored that the Cowboys could be firing Jason Garrett. Because Jerry Jones did say a couple weeks ago that Jason Garrett needed a deep run with the playoff run with the Cowboys this year to keep his job. And it looks like that's not even going to happen. They may miss the playoffs. See, and the players, they've already given up and have no confidence in Garrett. The players want a real coach. So, this is a tough one here. Now, point spread has the Cowboys favored by 11. You know what? It's the last week of the season. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the Redskins in upset of the week. I'm going to take the Redskins to win this game. I mean, if the Cowboys lose to the Redskins, that should be enough to get Jason Garrett fired. That should be enough. Unless Jason Garrett does a massive amount of ass kissing on Jerry Jones to try and keep his job. But yeah, give me the Redskins. You know what? Just for a bonus, I'm going to take the points too. So give me the Redskins plus the points. So yeah, give me Washington by 11. I'm going to take the points and the win. I can dream, damn it. So yeah, next game, we got one last Tank Bowl to go through. And this Tank Bowl takes place in the AFC South. So this Tank Bowl sees the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars playing in Jacksonville. I bet you're wondering, wait, why are we going over a Tank Bowl right now during the middle of the big-time playoff games? Don't worry, folks. This game has importance. You'll learn in a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to take the Colts to win. And if you're wondering why, just keep listening. We're going to go over in a few seconds. So yeah, with that, it's time to take a look at the AFC playoff picture. So the AFC playoff picture is for the second and final wildcard spot. So for the Tennessee Titans, it is very simple. Win, you're in. The Steelers, they need a win and a Titans loss to get into the playoffs. And for the Steelers, for the Steelers to lock up the strength of schedule tiebreaker over the Oakland Raiders. The Steelers need wins from Kansas City, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Miami. So the Steelers need those 4 teams to win to lock up the strength of schedule tiebreaker over Oakland. And I already know for a fact one of those 4 is not going to happen. For the Oakland Raiders, their playoff picture is pretty complex. The Raiders, they need a win plus a Steelers loss and a Titans loss. And I need the Indianapolis Colts to beat Jacksonville in that AFC South Tank Bowl. And that would result in the Steelers and the Raiders being tied. And of course, the tiebreaker would be the strength of schedule. And the Oakland Raiders, they lock up the strength of schedule tiebreaker with a win from either the Patriots, the Bears, the Lions, or the Chargers. The Raiders just need one of those 4 teams to win, and the Raiders get that second and final wild card spot. But yeah, the Raiders have a 1,000,000-to-1 long shot, but let's go through it. So first off, we have the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans playing in Houston. Of course, Houston still has something to play for. Of course, Houston, they can lock up the 3rd seed in the AFC playoffs with a win and a Chiefs loss, because 3rd place is still up for grabs in the AFC. So the Texans have something to play for and a shot to eliminate a division rival. I'm going to take the Texans in this one. Give me Houston to win it, so I think Tennessee will be out. So next game we have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens playing in Baltimore. Of course, the Ravens, they're more than likely going to be resting Lamar Jackson, the majority of their starters, since the Ravens already have the home field throughout the AFC playoffs already locked up, because we already know now the road to the Super Bowl will go through Baltimore this year. So, of course, the Ravens are going to be resting majority of their starters. It's a game that doesn't matter to them anyway. A meaningless game. I'm going to say with all that presented, I say the Steelers will win that game and take advantage of the Ravens resting their starters. So give me the Steelers in that one. And of course, the Raiders and the Broncos played in Denver. I say the Raiders will win that game, plus Denver's still tanking for a top 10 pick. They can still get in the top 10 in the draft order. I feel like everything's going to go the Raiders' way. Except in the end, I feel like the Steelers are going to pull that win off against Baltimore. With that fact that Baltimore's going to be resting majority of their starters. I feel like the Steelers will have everything lined up for them. I mean, the Raiders will have everything lined up for them. Except for the Steelers. In Baltimore. I feel like that one game is going to cost the Raiders a playoff spot. But yeah, give me the Raiders in that one. So I'm saying for the 2 playoff spots up for grabs, I say Philadelphia gets the NFC East. And I say Pittsburgh will end up with the second and final wild card spot. So yeah, there it is there. And of course, the final game we have is the Sunday night game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks that are battling some injuries. Of course, this game has some meaning to it. The winner of this game gets the NFC West. And for San Francisco, they can lock up a round 1 bye with a win or either a Green Bay or a New Orleans loss. Actually, needing a win plus a Green Bay or New Orleans loss. San Francisco also locks up home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a win and a Packers or Saints loss. Seattle, they can get a first round bye with a win plus a Packers loss. And Seattle can also get a home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs with a win, plus a Packers and a Saints loss. You know, of course, they met a couple weeks ago in the Monday Night Thrower game that ended on that walk-off field goal in the last few as the time expired in the overtime. Seattle got that win in a very good game. A game I didn't want to see end, but sadly somebody had to lose. I feel like it's going to be something like that again. It's going to be a back-and-forth game. I mean, I think you can make an argument for either of these teams to win. I mean, both are really good teams. Both deserve the NFC West. But in the end, only one can win it. I'm going to say the 49ers win this game. I'm going to go against the rules, and I'm going to pick Seattle to lose at home. I mean, the Seahawks, they might want to play on the road in the playoffs. Because Seattle has played better this year on the road than they have at home, which is very strange. Because usually Seattle plays good at home, but terrible on the road. And this year, it's the complete opposite. So maybe Seattle would prefer playing on the road. Oh well, it is what it is. So yeah, I think the 49ers will get this one. I don't see the Seahawks sweeping the 49ers this year. I think San Francisco is too talented to be swept this year. I'm going to say the 49ers win this game and they get the first seed in the NFC playoffs. So I think in the end, we'll see the road to the Super Bowl go through Santa Clara. So yeah, give me the 49ers in that one. But yes, those are my NFL Week 17 picks. What are your picks? Who do you think will be in the playoffs? Who do you think will be out? And who do you think will be fired on Black Monday? There's going to be a number of head coaches firing. We're probably going to see a lot of teams in the offseason blow it up and start rebuilds. But yeah, we'll talk about more of that in the offseason. But yeah, that's all I got to say, folks. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.